listening to TurkishSoccer.com's Turkish Football Podcast. Hello, everyone. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. Welcome to another edition of Turkish Football Podcast. Next 15 minutes, we'll recap Week 21, and we'll back to a busy schedule this week, starting tomorrow on Tuesday, and Week 21, Week 22nd will start, and then after Week 22nd ends on Thursday, Week 23rd will start on Friday, and then it will be like a week off in the Turkish Super Lig. So, first, my homily, my rants about Turkish football in general, and Turkish teams, and Turkish referees. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been sick of saying the Turkish referees are one of the worst referees out there. Every weekend we talk about this. Again, in this many matches this past weekend in Week 21, we saw them making huge mistakes. I've been telling you, the Turkish referees, every weekend, every round matches, in every matches, pretty much, they're making huge mistakes. That's number one. Number two, the Turkish football, the big giants of Istanbul are in chaos. Starting with Galatasaray, same thing with Beşiktaş, same thing with Fenerbahçe. Galatasaray hired, after they let go of Fatih Terim, they hired former MLS coach Dominic Torrent. Shortly, his nickname is Domi. Domi was hired to coach Galatasaray. Whatever happened before they let Fatih Terim go, they were talking to Dominic Torrent at least 2 months before. Now, my understanding, if you don't like the Fatih Terim's record, or if you don't like what Fatih Terim was doing, you should tell his face, not go around his back. That's number one. But the guilt is not only on Galatasaray team officials, the guilt is on Fatih Terim too. Because, let's face it, when Burak Elmas took this team, won the presidential race, he promised that he was going to go with Fatih Terim. Now, Fatih Terim had a problem with the problems with the past president who died later on. He went in a sour note with him and then left the team. It is sometimes two mistakes doesn't make one right. It was a mistake. Fatih Terim couldn't get along with the other president, CEO of the Galatasaray. And then he should never come back to Galatasaray with Burak Elmas after he won the presidential race. That is why, that is the two mistakes right there, and it didn't make one correction. Fatih Terim should have left it there, and a lot of people like Fatih Terim's name because, let's face it, he's probably one of the best coaches in Turkish Super Lig and Turkish football. So, whatever happened between him and Burak Elmas, now, past a week, every day there's a chaos in Galatasaray team. Especially after Dominic Torrent took the team and they lost in Hatay against Hatayspor 4-2. The troubles are still there for Galatasaray. In general, Beşiktaş is same way. They let go of Sergen Yalçın very badly. And then they kept the youth team coach in the team. They did not want to hire another coach. Fenerbahçe, they were without the coach for a long time. And just as this past weekend, they hired retread coach So İsmail Kartal. So the big three in the Turkish football teams, they're making huge mistakes. I don't know why. You know why? I know why. Because they're not run by professionals. This is one thing that has to be done with Turkish football in general. Turkish Football Federation should be run by professionals. Turkish teams should run by professionals. That's not happening. That is why you see so much chaos in Turkish football and Turkish Super League. The teams are almost bankrupt. They don't have any place to go but the banks. Most of the big teams owned by banks. They owe so much money to the banks. Same way with the small teams too. There are probably one or two teams in the league that is good financially. Maybe one, maybe two. That's it. So, Turkish Super League right now in the chaos. While these teams are in chaos, Trabzonspor on top after week 21, they reached the 50 points on top. Because, as you know, that Ahmet Çalık was lost in the tragic accident last weekend. And one of the reasons why Konyaspor did not play, Başakşehir Konya match did not play in week 21. That is why Konyaspor still in the second place, but they're at 39 points. They have one more game than Trabzonspor. But Trabzonspor they did not look good in the a week before against Yeni Malatyaspor. As I told you then, they won that game because of the referee against Yeni Malatyaspor. This week, week 21, they went to Sivas. Sivas Spor had that game. And then another case with the Turkish referees again there. And Sivas draw with Trabzonspor. So, last 2 weekends, Trabzonspor been lucky. But they're losing this past weekend. They lost 2 points. Even though they reached 50-point mark, there are a lot of matches. Because, as I mentioned to you many times, there's a lot of matches going on and non-stop football. Like this coming weekend, week 22, which is going to start on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And Trabzonspor will be playing at home in the week 22nd on Wednesday against Giresunspor. This should be a very tight game too also. So let's recap what happened in week 21. And Friday, Yeni Malatya and Göztepe. Göztepe beat Yeni Malatyaspor. And this was, I mentioned to you, battle for points. 2 teams in the relegation zone. And Göztepe won this match. On Friday, Beşiktaş beat Gaziantep 1-0. Saturday, Adana Demirspor Kayseri match was draw. That was a good play by Kayserispor team and their coach Hikmet Karaman. And as I mentioned to you, Sivas Trabzonspor match was ended 1-1 tie. And also Fatih Karagümrük at home beat Rizespor 2-0. And Antalyaspor at home tied with Fenerbahçe. Fenerbahçe, really, this İsmail Kartal coach came in. He made changes. I seen Ferdi Kadıoğlu again playing in the left fullback. Are you kidding me? It is crazy. And Fenerbahçe should have at least won this match, but Antalya, Nuri Şahin's Antalyaspor tied with Fenerbahçe 1-1. And Sunday, the Altay, what can I say? I've been saying this. Mustafa Denizli resigned, and they hired Matt Nobre. And then Altay at home lost to Alanyaspor. Things are not looking good for Altay. And Giresun at home lost to Kasımpaşa. another two teams that are in the relegation zone. They're definitely, actually, Giresunspor is in much better condition. They have 25 points, but it was a must-win for Kasımpaşa. They were at the 18 points. So Kasımpaşa won this match, and they reached the 21 points. And Hatay was at home against Galatasaray. They won this match 4-2. One time, it was Galatasaray was up 2-1, and something happened. The defense collapsed, and the style of Torrent's play, not knowing a lot of the players, and then they missed penalty kick. You can name all kinds of negative stuff for Galatasaray. And they need a goalkeeper. Galatasaray can't not do anything with that goalkeeper, ladies and gentlemen. This is one thing. When they put this team together, remember, Fatih Terim was in the helm. They should have better second goalkeeper in the team after Muslera. They made a huge mistake, and I blame to this Fatih Terim too. So week 21 ended, and as I mentioned to you, Trabzonspor 50 points on top. Konya is in second place with 39 points. The biggest mover this weekend was Hatayspor. They moved from sixth place to third place, and they're in the third place. And on the bottom, nothing has changed, but only thing, the 17th place Kasımpaşa and 16th place Göztepe, they moved their points from 18 to 21. Malatya is the last team with 15 points. Rizespor and Altay with 18 points. And the 15th place Antalya is 23rd, 23 points. Giresun with 25. Right above them, there are three teams with 27 points. That is Fatih Karagümrük, Kayseri, and Galatasaray. Things are not looking good for Galatasaray. Let's talk about what's going to happen in week 22 starting Tuesday, which means tomorrow. On Tuesday, there are three games. Gaziantep will host Yeni Malatyaspor, and Fatih Karagümrük will be at home against Beşiktaş. Konyaspor will be at home against Adana Demirspor. On Wednesday, Rizespor will host Antalyaspor. Göztepe will be at home against Sivas. Kayseri will be at home against Başakşehir. And Trabzonspor will host Giresunspor. And Fenerbahçe will be at home against Altay. Thursday, the last two matches on Thursday will be playing in the week 22nd. And Galanyaspor will host Hatay. And Galatasaray will be at home against Kasımpaşa. Right after week 22nd, ladies and gentlemen, week 23 will start. And the match of the weekend will be on Sunday. Galatasaray will host Trabzonspor. Can you believe in 9 days they're playing three matches? And I'm telling you right now, in the week 22 and week 23, there are going to be a lot of surprise scores like I've been saying it, and it's been happening. So stay tuned for this non-stop crazy football in Turkish Super Lig, because it is going to be hot, and it is going to be a lot of surprise scores coming up. But one thing, if Galatasaray doesn't win next two matches, look for them to be almost into relegation zone. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. We'll talk to you after Thursday matches. We'll recap week 22, and we'll preview the week 23. So whatever you do, listen to my podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. See you next time. See you, as a matter of fact, on Thursday before Friday week 23 matches. Bye-bye.